Silence the noise. Not the noise outside you. The noise that has learned to live inside you. The voices that whisper doubt when the world goes quiet. The habits that speak louder than your intentions. The old fears that rise the moment you dare to stand taller than yesterday. This is where mastery begins. Not in the battlefield, not in the applause, but in this unseen moment where you decide whether you will command your inner world or let it command you. Every human being is born with fire, raw, untamed, unpredictable. Some let that fire burn them alive. Some try to extinguish it to feel safe, and a rare few learn how to forge it, how to shape that heat into discipline, clarity, and unstoppable direction. Life does not reward potential. It rewards alignment. And alignment is built when your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions march under a single banner: purpose. You don't lose because you are weak. You lose because you are divided. One part of you wants comfort. Another part of you wants greatness. One part seeks distraction. Another seeks meaning. And every day these forces collide inside your chest like rival armies. Most people never resolve this war. They live tired, frustrated, half-awake lives, wondering why success feels close yet unreachable. But the truth is simple and brutal. You cannot conquer the world while you are still negotiating with your own excuses. Look closely at your daily rituals, not your dreams, your routines. That is where your future is hiding. The mind follows what the body repeats. If you wake up reaching for comfort, you train your spirit to kneel. If you delay discipline, you teach your will to hesitate. Mastery is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is waking up when no one is watching. It is choosing the harder path when the easier one begs you to stay. It is doing the same small right thing again and again until your character becomes unbreakable. The world will test you, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Pressure does not create weakness. It exposes it. And when life tightens its grip, when plans collapse, when people doubt, when results are slow, this is not punishment. This is training. Steel is not offended by the hammer. It understands the hammer is what gives it shape. Pain is not your enemy. Resistance is not your enemy. Your enemy is the part of you that wants to quit the moment growth becomes uncomfortable. You must become dangerous, not to others, but to your own limitations. Dangerous to procrastination, dangerous to laziness, dangerous to the version of yourself that settles for less. Because trying feels risky, the disciplined mind does not wait for motivation. It moves first and allows motivation to chase. Feelings are weather, discipline is climate. One changes every hour. The other defines your entire environment. There will be days when you feel empty, when passion fades, when confidence dissolves into silence. On those days, do not search for inspiration. Return to structure. Structure is the bridge that carries you when emotion collapses. Warriors are not built on days of victory. They are built on days of repetition, days that feel ordinary, heavy, and unrewarded. And yet, those are the days that carve depth into your soul. Understand this deeply. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world's cruelty, but against your own inconsistency. The world will adapt to who you become. It always does. But it will never adapt to who you almost were. So you must decide, here, now, whether you will live as a reaction to circumstances or as a force that shapes them. Stand guard over your mind. What you allow to enter will decide what you become. Protect your focus like it is sacred, because it is. Every distraction you entertain is a vote against your future self. Every disciplined action is a silent promise kept, and promises kept to yourself. Build a confidence no applause can give, and no failure can take away. You are not here to be average. You are not here to drift. You are here to master yourself, your impulses, your fears, your time, your energy. And when you do, life itself begins to bend. Not because it is easy, but because you are no longer negotiable. Continue when you're ready, and the flow will deepen. Do not ask the world to believe in you when you have not yet proven loyalty to yourself. Self-trust is forged in private moments, when no one is counting, when no one will praise you, when quitting would cost nothing, and discipline would cost everything. These moments are small, but they are sacred. They are the altar where identity is chosen. Every time you show up anyway, you carve a deeper line in your spirit that says, I am someone who finishes. You must learn to sit with discomfort without trying to escape it. Most people spend their entire lives running from silence, from boredom, from pain, from their own thoughts. They drown themselves in noise and call it living. But clarity does not arrive in chaos. It arrives when you are still enough to hear the truth echo inside you. And the truth will not always be gentle. Sometimes it will tell you that you are capable of more. Sometimes it will tell you that you have been lying to yourself. Listen anyway. Growth begins the moment honesty becomes more important than comfort. Do not confuse being busy with being disciplined. Movement without direction is exhaustion. Discipline is intentional. It knows why it wakes you before sunrise. It knows why it demands sacrifice now instead of regret later. When you align your actions with a clear internal code, you stop feeling lost. Even in uncertainty, you walk with purpose. Even in failure, you move forward with dignity. There is a strength that comes from restraint, from saying no when everything in you wants to say yes, from pausing when emotion urges reaction, from choosing silence over ego. This strength does not scream. It does not posture. It does not need validation. It simply endures. And endurance over time becomes dominance, not over others but over chaos. You will outgrow people. Let it happen. You will shed habits that once felt like comfort. Let them go. You will be misunderstood when you stop explaining yourself and start executing. Accept it. Loneliness is often the price of becoming someone rare. Do not fear it. Use it. In solitude, you sharpen. In silence, you rebuild. In isolation, you remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Remember this, confidence is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It stands firm even when the ground shakes. It is born when your actions repeatedly confirm your values, when what you do aligns with who you claim to be, when your inner dialogue stops sabotaging your outer progress. There will be moments when the path feels endless, when progress is invisible, when the reward feels imaginary. These moments are the final filter. Most people turn back here, not because they are incapable, but because they are impatient. Mastery requires time. Time requires patience. Patience requires faith. Not blind faith, but faith earned through consistency. So when doubt visits, do not entertain it. Acknowledge it and return to work. When fear speaks, let it speak, but do not let it decide. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience to purpose despite fear. And purpose is what remains when motivation fades and excuses lose their voice. You are becoming someone stronger than your past, sharper than your impulses, calmer than your storms. Every disciplined choice is a vote for that future self. Cast that vote daily, without drama, without announcement, without hesitation. The world does not need another distracted soul. It needs someone who has mastered themselves, someone who moves with intent, speaks with weight, and lives with an unshakable inner order. Become that person, and life will meet you differently. Whenever you're ready, we continue deeper into the forge. There will come a moment when you realize the hardest discipline is not action, it is consistency. Anyone can change for a day. Anyone can feel inspired for a week, but to remain aligned when novelty fades, when progress slows, when no one notices, that is where identity is sealed. This is where most fall away, not because the path is impossible, but because it is repetitive. And repetition exposes who you truly are. You must learn to respect time. Time is not something you manage. It is something you honor. Waste it, and it will quietly erode your potential. Invest it, and it will compound into strength. Every hour you guard becomes a brick in the fortress of your future. Every hour you surrender to distraction becomes a crack that weakness will later exploit. The disciplined mind does not ask, "What do I feel like doing?" It asks, "What does the moment demand of me?" Understand this, suffering is inevitable, but suffering without meaning is optional. When pain is tied to purpose, it becomes fuel. When struggle is aligned with growth, it becomes sacred. The same fire that burns the undisciplined refines the focused. The difference is not the intensity of the flame, but the direction of the will. You must stop romanticizing ease. Easy paths create fragile spirits. Comfort dulls the edge of awareness. Struggle sharpens it. When you choose the difficult task voluntarily, you reclaim control. You remind yourself that you are not at the mercy of impulse. You are the architect of response, and response, not circumstance, defines destiny. There will be setbacks that feel personal, failures that whisper lies about your worth. Do not internalize them. Failure is feedback, not a verdict. Learn from it, adjust, move forward. A master is not someone who never falls, but someone who falls without surrendering direction. Pride says, I should not have failed. Wisdom says, now I know what must change. Guard your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, your emotional reserves. Attention is currency. Spend it deliberately. When you stop reacting to everything, you start directing something. Calm becomes your advantage. While others panic, you observe. While others complain, you prepare. While others wait for permission, you execute. You will feel the urge to explain yourself. Resist it. Explanation is often a subtle form of seeking approval. Results speak in a language no one can argue with. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Let actions accumulate quietly until doubt has no ground to stand on. Power grows best in stillness. At some point, you will notice a shift. Temptations lose their grip. Discipline feels less forced. The mind becomes clearer, steadier, less reactive. This is not luck. This is alignment taking root. You are no longer fighting yourself every step forward. You are moving as one. Thought, intention, and action unified. This is when responsibility expands, not just for your outcomes, but for your standard. People will watch how you move, how you respond under pressure, how you carry yourself when no reward is guaranteed. You do not need to lead them. Just live correctly. Mastery is contagious. Remember, the goal was never perfection. The goal was control. Control over impulse, control over time, control over direction. And with that control comes freedom, the rare kind. The freedom to choose your suffering, the freedom to say no, the freedom to walk alone without feeling lost. Stay on the path, not loudly, not impatiently, but relentlessly. The world will eventually recognize what you already know, that a person who has mastered themselves cannot be stopped, only delayed. And delay to the disciplined is just another form of training. And now as you stand here, stronger than before, quieter than before, clearer than before, understand this moment is not an ending. It is a sharpening. Everything you have heard is not meant to excite you for a few minutes. It is meant to change the way you move through life, because motivation that fades is entertainment. Discipline that stays becomes destiny. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a firm decision. A decision to rise even when the body resists. A decision to focus even when the mind wanders. A decision to keep going when results are late and silence is loud. This is how ordinary people become uncommon, not by talent alone, but by refusal to quit on themselves. One day you will look back at this version of you, the one who chose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, growth over comfort, and you will feel respect. Real respect, not because life was easy, but because you did not run when it was hard. You stayed, you endured, you evolved. Let others chase noise. You chase depth. Let others seek approval. You seek alignment. Let others wait for motivation. You build structure. Because when motivation disappears, and it always does, structure remains. And what remains is what carries you forward. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming. And becoming is messy, silent, uncomfortable. But it is also powerful. Every day you choose discipline. You are voting for a future where you stand unshaken, regardless of circumstances. So rise tomorrow with intent. Walk slower but with certainty. Speak less but with weight. Act daily even when progress is invisible. Trust that what you are building in silence will one day speak for itself. And if this message stirred something inside you, if it reminded you of who you are meant to be, don't let it stay trapped inside your chest. Let it move outward. Like this message. Drop a comment, not for me, but as a promise to yourself that you will stay on this path. Your engagement is not just support for this channel. It is a declaration that you choose growth over comfort. Stand firm, stay disciplined, master yourself, and life will have no choice but to respond.